Okay, we are live. I'm going to share my screen with you.
Okay. This is a really fun concept. I'm so excited.
Great. Wait, so it's Kaytlyn. Did I spell it right? Yeah. When's your birthday?
March 30th, 1999.
Time?
12 noon.
Place?
Spring, Texas.
Spring, just.
Yeah.
14 degrees Cancer rising. Is
Uh-huh.
that right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay. So, I always start with the same question, which is just tell us a bit about what's going on in your life right now.
Currently, okay. This is actually super interesting because um what I'm experiencing in my life can only really be described as like shedding. I'm in a period where I'm realizing that um a lot of my limiting beliefs about myself, who I am and who I can be or who I'm supposed to be, have all just been adopted via the people who were meant to guide me, because I didn't actually get guidance. I only got criticism and rules, and I adapted to judging myself on their behalf, like even when I'm alone, in order to protect myself from like ridicule, right? And 27 years old, I'm just now realizing like, hey, I don't actually have to do that. I don't have to believe that about myself. On top of just sort of generally feeling very lost. Um, the past like year or so career wise, I feel like I've weighed my worth as a human and like my income were mutually exclusive, and that simply just isn't accurate for what I believe of myself and other people.
Okay, what's happening at work?
Um so I was working at a grocery store for about 7 months. I got so incredibly fed up. Like I had a meltdown at work, and I begged for my old employer to take me back. They did, and then like said, "Oh, business is slow, so we can't do anything for you." And I was like, "Hey guys, like I need a week of work before I'm get evicted," and they gave me one single day. And so right now I'm not working. Right now I'm trying to um, reinvent what life is supposed to look like for me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what I'm hoping to get into is um, a life where my creativity and my vision and my ability to collaborate um, is something that supplies abundance for me, because those are my natural tendencies. Like I have this really weird system where I feel a whole lot, right? Because we have the Cancer rising, and then I feel a whole lot, and I get pulled in so many different directions, right? Aries sun, but then I have this Virgo moon, and so every experience has to be labeled in some way, shape, or form. Like that's how my life has always been, where my form of coping has just been seeking to understand myself and how my environment affects me and how like the actions of everyone else affect each other. Like the what is it called? The butterfly loop. What is it called?
The butterfly effect. Well,
Effect.
hold on
Yeah.
a minute. Okay, so there's a few things you said that intrigued me.
Uh
And usually I have my pen and paper, but as I'm in the car, I don't. So I'm gonna try to work from memory best I can. Now, it's about Saturn that's transiting your 10th house
huh.
and
Uh
conjunct your sun at the moment. Okay. So I immediately clocked that when you said that you're having these challenges at work in the grocery store. So you had nearly a meltdown, then you begged to return to your previous employer. They took you back. Now they're not giving you work.
Yeah.
And so there's that period of reinvention where your employers, so your higher ups, let's say, are not recognizing you, I guess, let's say. So
Yeah.
if you're not working, what are you doing instead?
Um. Currently, just sort of trying my damn best, door dashing, and also working on creative projects.
Okay, so you're door dashing. Okay. And since when?
It's been a month of that.
A month of that so far.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. Can you explain a bit about door dashing to me?
It's accessible. It. I mean, are you asking about the concept of door dashing or like what's
No,
it?
just like what is your experience? What do you do? Let's say. Hold on a minute.
Uh,
My
so
my
I'm
boyfriend.
like,
Hold on. Just 1 minute. My boyfriend is coming, so I'm gonna move inside.
okay,
Just- No, you're gonna take it. Okay. Okay. See you. Let me just get a piece of paper. Okay, go ahead.
okay. I'm typically just the driver. Like I'll go with my sister and I'll just drive because everyone in my family sucks at driving besides me.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
That part is interesting. So does that mean you're like the family driver?
Yes, I am.
Uh-huh. Okay. Why is can you explain more about that?
So I don't really know what causes my sister and my mother to be horrible fucking drivers. Um, but it's really bad, like really bad. My mom's wrecked every single vehicle she's ever owned. She's owned a multiple, and I don't know, like ever since I learned to drive, I had finally gotten my license, and the way that my sister and my mom drive is like is reckless, reckless. And so I get so anxious that I'm like, yeah, you're not driving again. I'm not doing this. So I have to drive, especially with them.
Interesting. Okay, I don't have the full picture, but I'm immediately starting to feel the Sun Jupiter Aries that's going on.
Hmm.
Um, part where you said that they're reckless, you really emphasize how reckless they are. So that sense of danger from them going really too far with the car, Sun Jupiter Aries.
Hmm.
And also that now you're door dashing for work, which is a lot of moving back and forth with the vehicle, right? So then again, Sun, Jupiter, Aries. Yeah.
Hmm.
And especially because at the moment you can see that Saturn is exactly conjunct your Sun and Jupiter,
God damn it, Saturn, bro.
right? So So tell me more about that. Okay, so you're door dashing since a month, right? That's the period where Saturn's been exactly conjunct your sun, pretty much. So
Uh-huh.
I can there's something with the door dashing. I guess you don't like it.
I hate it.
Okay. Okay, that's right, because you're just kind of the worker. You're just being sent to go here, there, everywhere.
Yeah, I need here's my ideal work environment, right? I need something where my structure and my ideas are valued. I need somewhere that doesn't have this insane like invisible hierarchy. I one time had a boss pull me into another room to tell me that I didn't have to prove that I was the smartest person in the room. Um I that's not even an effort of mine. Like I simply just exist, in the context in which I'm existing. And I get a lot of really weird and like misunderstood reactions. And so, um, not only do I already have sort of issues from being neurodivergent, and, like I have sensitivities to light and sound, but I also sort of don't translate to people in the corporate world um in a good way, like I never have, and I keep trying to fit in, and I keep trying to like be like, okay, maybe there's just another structure that I'm just not getting. And I think kind of the whole point that I'm realizing is that there is no structure that I need to fit into, and like I actually can have a life that suits me.
Okay. Yeah, I guess you know exactly what you're talking about, but as you're new to me, you're kind of giving me like the conclusion, but I don't see like it would be good if you use some specific examples.
Okay.
When you say you don't translate to corporate, that's, there's a story in there somewhere that would help illustrate what that
Okay.
means.
So I've had this experience where a lot of jobs I will have most people like me, like in terms of managers, higher ups, coworkers, most people like me. But there's always the one person, usually is the highest position of the person that interacts with me, does not like me. It's happened so many times that where like I'm actively being blamed for things and like attributes are being projected onto me that are simply just not true.
Give an example.
There was one time I was working at La Madeline, and there was a guy that came in, ended up getting free food because it was like the end of the night. I wasn't even there when the food was given to him. Um, the situation really was like the two girls kind of felt intimidated by this guy, and they were, the manager was all the way in the back and there are no cameras, so it was like sort of like a safety issue for them, and so they just sort of complied and gave the guy the food. And then the general manager is like interrogating these girls who, are technically responsible for handing over the food. Um and the general manager, who did not like me, was like, basically interrogating them, but like talking to them, basically investigating and being like, oh, it was Kaytlyn, right? Like, she's the one who did it. Like, you can tell me, you won't get in trouble, like, it's her, right? And then i've had I had one job where the boss just fucking hated me because I couldn't like talk in like a friendly manner and do ice cream, like, because it was like a liquid nitrogen like ice cream place. And so I couldn't put on a performance and do like the physical thing within like the first 3 weeks, which is like, first of all, like, I can adapt to that if you just give me time, bro. But he had an issue with me. I have I've just had so many experiences where the highest up manager, like at even the grocery stores that I worked at, like, because I worked at two different grocery stores, um, they simply just don't like me. And it's always just the one person that's like highest that I interact with. Like,
Okay, but you see, there's something you're telling me part of the story because I'm hearing the Saturn in the 10th house at the moment. Because you're telling me about somebody who's there really doesn't like you and gets in your way, and this is repeating. But what
yeah.
I see is that this person, whoever it is reacting to the Sun Jupiter in Aries in the 10th house. So this makes me think that you really stand out a lot, right? So there's something about you that's very extraordinary that makes people see you that way, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I mean, that it makes sense to me because it's just that I think a lot of the times people will associate those attributes of mine as something that comes from like a really bad place, or like that I have bad intentions, or that, you know, I just get projected on a lot. And I do have like a really outgoing, um, sort of like social personality. Like a part of my mask is just being outgoing and friendly and talking to whoever, and I'm sort of blunt. But even throughout all these years where I'm like, okay, I'm fired because I made a joke about um someone hurting my feelings. As a joke, I was like, "Oh, you're hurting my feelings," literally as a joke. I got fired over that, and because so we weren't even open a week, and some customers called in and complained and said that I said that I was feeding them scraps, which, like, why would I ever say that to them? Um, and it's a lot of just like misunderstanding, just completely misunderstanding, misconstruing me as a person, um, and always being like villainized by just one person. It isn't a collective thing, you know.
Hmm.
I also got picked on a lot as a kid. Like, my it's because and this is gonna make sense and gonna perpetuate it further. But the Sun Jupiter in Aries, I got picked on by everyone, and I was always told that I take things too personal, that I wear my heart on my sleeve, that I'm an easy target because my reactions are funny when people fuck with me.
Uh-huh. In what way?
So, a lot of different ways like that. Like my whole, I'll give you examples. Don't worry, because I can
Yeah.
tell that you really need examples. But from so many different people. But I'll say like things that have really stuck with me is like, I had a teacher in elementary school that used to call me Christmas because I walked and ran slow. She called me Christmas because Christmas was always so far away. I had um First of
Oh,
all, that's
interesting.
in elementary school. That's like I was like 5.
Okay. You walked and ran slow.
Yeah, yeah, always have.
Okay. That immediately makes me think about your retrograde Mars opposite Saturn in fixed signs.
In the 5th.
Well, the fifth I'm not hearing just yet. I need to know more. I need to hear.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so you're walking and running slowly, and still you do.
Yes, yeah, I take my time.
I don't know what that means. Like, are you abnormally slow that everyone notices?
I guess. I do get. I've gotten a lot of comments about it, like throughout my whole life. Um, though I am the shortest of my mom's children. My mom's 6 foot, and
Yes.
yeah, so my stride is obviously shorter, and they're very like shopping with my mom was so stressful because she walked that bitch like it was a runway, bro. Like I could not catch up with her ever.
Yes, okay. There's the Sun Jupiter Aries.
Okay, tell me.
Because because She's moving so quickly and she has these long strides. That's the Aries, right? Someone that's moving a lot.
Uh,
And that she's so tall. Because at first, when I was looking at your chart and it's the Sun, Jupiter in your chart, I thought, so Kaytlyn must be really tall. But I felt there's someone that's really tall and really fast. And I thought that was you. Then you told me that people tell you move slow, and I was really surprised by that.
yeah.
That brought me to the Mars Saturn. And I was like, okay, this is interesting now.
Okay.
And then you told me it's your mom that's really tall, and you're like running after her.
Yeah.
Well, the Sun,
Yeah.
Jupiter. Okay.
I'm still relatively like tall. I'm 5'9", and so
Okay.
that's, you know what I mean. Like I'm still
Yes.
considered tall, but like I'm the shortest of
Do you
my
stand out
environment.
somehow, like a sore thumb?
Huh?
Do you stand out somehow?
Yeah. Well, because um I've also been like chubby, big my entire life as well.
Okay. And still.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Real struggle. I love seeing how much fun you're having, like connecting the dots now after having like a little bit of conversation.
Right. Okay. Uh-huh. Have you started working out?
I did at one point, and then I just couldn't financially like keep it up at that time, like because I was getting kicked out and then having to find another place to live. So, but I was, and then I lost like 30 pounds
Okay,
from.
what about and now do you have any and that impulse at all now?
Oh yeah, no, I would love to, but it for me, it's like it's something that has to be easy.
Okay.
It has to be easy to work out, for me.
Uh-huh. I don't understand that yet. What do you mean?
Like, okay, so like the concept from Atomic Habits is like when you require change from just your willpower, that change will not keep. But if you sort of either put obstacles in front of a habit or take obstacles away from a habit, that is what increases your chances of actually performing that habit and
Okay.
sticking with it, right? So for me, I need it to be a lot easier, and right now it is not as easily obtainable for me than it
Mhm.
was when I was working out.
Got it. Okay. So what is your like struggle now at the moment?
Financial, and then
Financial.
like career, and like pretty much everything but my love life and like my own sort of openness to journey and expansion, you know?
No,
Everything in shambles.
you want to travel.
Hell yeah, I want to travel.
Okay. Don't do you already? Are you a traveler in general?
I mean, what's really funny? If there's some sort of something that's like saying that, I have traveled quite it like I feel like it's a really disproportionate amount for like how low income I've been my entire life.
Okay.
That like I've I've traveled in the US almost every single time that I have. My plane ticket has been bought for me. So I've been to like Florida, I've been to Chicago, Idaho, California, Colorado, Mississippi. And then in high school, I went to Japan, um, which is so insane to think because I feel like that's such a spoiled person thing to say. But really, it was like the money left over from my grandma dying was what supplied that trip. And so I have technically traveled a lot, especially for
Did you study Japanese?
um I tried also Korean, but right now I'm studying Spanish.
Uh-huh.
I've
Okay,
always wanted to learn
you
another language, you know?
the last 2 years you were studying, I feel like.
Well, past 2 years, I wouldn't say a whole lot of effort went into learning another
Okay.
language. Um, it has always been like an interest to me, like other cultures and stuff like that. Has always been like a huge
Yes.
um, draw. But
Okay.
I will say that I've been doing Duolingo, and what really
Yes.
like sparks my desire for learning like another language, because I live in Texas. I am a white lady, but I am I am constantly surrounded with other culture. And while I was working at the grocery store, and because of the area I live in is a lot like a huge Hispanic population, and quite a few of them only speak Spanish. And so I I don't know why, I'm just not the person who gets mad at other people for being in a country and not speaking like the language like I am.
Okay, I totally, yeah.
I don't understand how that it genuinely pisses my old coworkers. They would get pissed off. And I'm like, okay, but that's just an opportunity to like learn and bridge that gap. And so I started learning more simply because of all the customers that came in that only spoke Spanish.
Okay. Which is recent, right? Like over the past year or two.
Year, yeah, yep.
Okay. Okay. I have something great for you. Are you ready?
I'm so ready.
Great. And we'll get back to because there's more to the story, but we're gonna start with the Mercury Moon opposition.
Okay.
And it's actually in the first place, it's about Mercury that is in your ninth house in Pisces. And so you said that other people in the US get mad at foreigners, but you embrace them. So
Mhm.
there's Mercury in your ninth house, Pisces, being intrigued by other languages, being open to learn other languages. Yeah. And
Yeah.
also being surrounded by like different cultures and getting to learn about them. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, the opposition is to your moon in the third house, Virgo. Okay. So think about it. The third house is the local people, like the people at the grocery store, right? And
Right.
what are you doing at the grocery store? You're doing Virgo. You're scanning their items, right? You're labeling, you're identifying, you're putting things away. It's all the
Right.
like, jing, jing, jing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So there, that opposition is that you're working at the grocery store locally, and that's where you do your stuff. But when you're there, there's lots of people speaking different languages coming. Okay, do you get it so far?
Yeah.
Okay, now, when we put up the transits and I put in Saturn, and if I go back 1 year, and you'll see that Saturn, the previous year, was conjunct your Mercury and opposing your moon the whole time.
Oh, wow.
Right? So think about it. Saturn is on your Mercury, and you're starting to learn Spanish so that you can interact with the people around you.
Right.
Okay. And by the way, there's another thing like your moon in Virgo and like you're naturally a curious person that asks questions, wants to
Yeah.
know, has that right?
That also bites me in the ass in the workplace, by the way. Always. I need to know from the bottom up, okay? I need to know. I needed to connect to how I understand something. So like I'll ask a question like why? Why does this work this way? And then people tend to view that as like me questioning their authority. No,
Uh,
I'm questioning the system because I don't think it's efficient. It has nothing to do with you and like your position, and like I just don't think it is working. It doesn't make sense to me, and I would like for it to make sense to me, which is why I'm asking a question. But it's always like, oh, I'll just answer this other question that I think you're asking. No, no, no. I need you to tell me what I need to know right now. Okay, I haven't gone to your head. Please.
hmm Okay, so I see that like analytical part of you, like you're watching the processes, how things are being done. You're kind of seeing all the parts that are moving. And that's like naturally what's interesting for you, actually, right? Because it's the moon. It's what you naturally do.
Oh yeah, no, I love like psychology and philosophy, and um, I
Hmm.
hate history. I hate history, but I think that things become really interesting in the context of history. Like
Hmm.
if you add, I like when you can keep adding context. So like my Virgo moon brain
Hmm. That's right.
loves contextualizing everything.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times, what I just recently realized is that it's quite unbalanced because my Virgo moon is trying so hard to uh organize all the chaos, whereas like I have the Cancer rising, so I'm like feeling so much of my surroundings. I'm feeling everything, and I generate through feeling. I decision make through feeling, and so when I'm stuck in, you know, analyzing and metacognition and spiraling in rumination, it becomes unbalanced, and then it's sort of like I get lost in the maze of thinking because I'm not prioritizing feeling or doing.
Okay, I would really pull in the opposition to Mercury and Pisces with that moon. Because that to me feels like all that processing of information that is information that you don't understand, also information that doesn't have an answer because of the Pisces.
Right.
Okay, makes me think about you having also a very rich imagination, like imagining mathematical equations or how to build things or
Oh yes. Oh yeah. That's why like I'm like creative doesn't quite embody what I am because I am creative, but I'm also very analytical, and I
yeah.
see like I'm really good with like immersion. I'm really good at like intentional events. I'm really good at like building a ritual for people. I'm really good at like being like, what's this is your creative idea. Wouldn't it be so more fun if you like just tweak this little thing and added this here? I think it would be like so good, and like I'm an expander, right? Like an igniter. Um and
Oh, cool. There's the Sun, Jupiter, and Aries now coming through in the 10th, right? You're an expander, you're an igniter. Go on.
um and this is all things that I'm obviously saying from like analyzing my own birth chart, but I don't know too much. I've just been trying to like dig into it, but I really, really, really love um, learning about systems and analyzing things and understanding. Like I love people watching. I hate reality TV, but I do love reality TV that's like catered to people who like you wouldn't normally understand. So like Too Hot to Handle, love that show. I love that show because I love seeing how shallow hot people are. You're like, oh wow, like you never had to have a personality a day in your life. Like I love that for you. I want to know how they think. I want to know how they operate. Like what their um unwritten, unspoken rules between those people are. I love seeing that and observing and
Okay,
like
this makes
knowing.
me think about your Venus Uranus square. And the Venus and Taurus in the 11th is all the beautiful people on the TV, like The Shallow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um Huge fan of that. A huge fan of, honestly, I just love asking questions. I love learning, especially when someone is willing to like contextualize it with me rather than fight me on it, you know? So I really am pulled toward
Hmm.
teachers who are about that life and not just, there for a paycheck.
Hmm.
Got a stinking cap on again.
Well, it's because I'm trying to understand what you're telling me now with understanding so far that you've worked at a grocery store. and now you're doing so there's like so I'm trying to there's like information missing, like how can it be? You know these things about yourself, but they're not actually part of your professional life, or not yet.
Right, exactly. Exactly. Thank you. Exactly. Thank you. My frustrations, exactly. Thank you. Thank you. Um, yeah, so I was my previous employer before Kroger was full-time graphic design. And before
Oh,
that, yeah. And then before that, I was working as a event striker. And let me tell you, that shit was hard work, but I loved it. It was
what,
for weddings.
what is
So
an event striker? Hold on.
so I would it was for weddings. So I was working with a floral business, partnered with a wedding venue business. So we would, represent different weddings and do the decor and the setup and yada yada. And my job was the takedown in transporting all of our goods back to like our home base, right?
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah. Okay.
sorry, and that was like one of my favorite jobs I ever had because um it was a small business. It was a mess. So there was room for improvement and observation and being like, this would be a lot better streamlined if we did this. And like,
Uh-huh.
I had people telling me how good I was at my job. My performance view was amazing. They hired a new manager outside of like the company. I was fired within the next week for targets that did not
Mm,
exist.
I get it. Okay. Wow. Okay. First of all, well, let's start with the moon Mercury. There's your graphic design, right? Working with lots of different visual elements, playing with fonts,
Mhm.
um,
You're gonna
editing.
love another aspect of this, actually, because
Okay.
now that I'm understanding the vibe, I need to tell you how deep this goes.
Okay.
I have
Wait,
this
but
really, I have this really specific like version of synesthesia where like music and TV and like
Mm,
any concepts like they have vibes to me. Like Friday and Christmas, they're not too far apart. Like um, there are
okay.
there are vibes that are intrinsic to me that I'm like I'm so good at articulating a specific vibe or like recreating a specific vibe that I can do so many different voice impressions. I can imitate so many
Oh,
different types of art. I have hyper specific like playlists on my Spotify. Like I have a Spotify playlist. It's called Citrus Rellos, and it's specifically the vibe of like the type of music a stoner girl with like those '90s silver hoops in her ears, and she's wearing lip gloss, and like she has the long nails and is smoking a blunt. I have a playlist for that girl specifically, right? And like it's very odd, it's very bizarre, but it's such a like superpower because I'm so good at translating an aesthetic or a specific vibe and like recreating that or like amplifying it in any way. Like I can really hone in on it. I love your enthusiasm.
do you see that in this opposition when you're
Yeah.
just okay?
Well, because like you said it and then I was like, "Oh yeah, that I'm really good at that." Yeah. Like the
Okay.
concept in general, I'm just really good at honing in on like a specific sort of niche or vibe.
Yeah,
It's
so there
just
I'm feeling the Pisces in the ninth house, right? How you're pulling together all of the 90s and this stuff. Like you have to actually have a lot of cultural information for that also.
oh yeah. But like
So
I'm a hyper what's the word? I'm hyper active, no, what's the hyper aware, hyper, of my surroundings.
okay, that's right. Okay, yes,
Yeah.
the moon and Virgo in the third, like everything
Yes.
microscopic, like in detail.
Yes.
Okay,
I literally the thing my superpower when it comes to like if you're gonna fuck with me, just know I can and will hurt your feelings. Flat, like in 10 seconds flat, okay? It and it's not in my nature to just do that. Like I don't see the flaws of you and automatically think that it makes you less of a person. I see your flaws immediately. Like that's who I am. But I you're a person. Like I love you despite. And so sometimes it gets lost in translation because I'll be like, "Oh, here's my best advice. You have this very specific cycle that keeps bringing you to this position that you keep finding yourself in. And if you were to sort of step outside of that and think like, what's really perpetuating this cycle in me? Like, where could I stop this? Then, this thing that you hate about your life could change. And so I'm really good at pointing that out for other people. Really, really good. Even really good at putting it out for myself. But then I'm like, I exhaust myself. I'm like trying to fix every issue all at once instead of just like honing down on adding one positive habit. I have to really strategize my own um self growth because otherwise I get overwhelmed. It's too much information all at once.
Yeah, I see that. Too much information all at once and every day. And I was also feeling you being kind of like knowing about the different plants and the different materials the clothes are made out of, the buildings are made out of, like just taking an interest in the natural world, actually.
Oh my god, yes. I'm really interested in that one woman who builds mud huts and like she's like combining all of these ancient architectural practices from different ancient cultures and is building like these really cool permanent structures that don't need AC. And I'm like, that's fucking sick as fuck. I want to learn more about that. I want to learn more about, manufacturing consent and like, the political side and the economic side of, the foundation of what our world is today. And I love psychology and, understanding human behavior. Um, and ultimately like understanding myself better.
Right. Okay. So you're kind of like a librarian.
A little bit. A little
Okay.
bit.
Okay. Here's a few things that came up also. Okay, when you start talking about, so okay, the moon Mercury is kind of the background that we've discussed. That is you as a person who's constantly learning, absorbing, paying attention,
Yeah.
putting things apart, analyze, blah blah. Okay, let's take the moon Mercury out for a bit. Now I felt the Venus Saturn and Taurus just now because you talked about a woman who's making these permanent mud structures using archaic techniques. Yeah,
Wait,
Venus
that's
Saturn Taurus.
actually so funny. Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
You're right. You're right. Venus and
And
Taurus. Yeah.
now, I want to make another connection with that Venus and Saturn and Taurus because you talked about it earlier. It's the equipment because you were moving lots of heavy equipment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
To take it to all kinds of venues,
Right.
right? And it's
Right.
for weddings. So there's Venus in the 11th, right? The 11th is all the public venues. Now, what else is
Oh.
interesting because the Venus Saturn don't work by themselves is the Sun Jupiter. Because the Venus Saturn is the heavy equipment, the Sun Jupiter Aries is the one to transport it,
Oh.
right?
Oh. I like that.
Okay, and you can see again, you were transporting equipment at one point. Now, what are you doing? You're transporting food. So, again, it's Aries and Taurus, but in a different way. And again, you're bringing Venus and Taurus to the 11th house. You're bringing food to the people. You're delivering groceries and food.
Yeah, no,
Right.
I heard something about a Venus Taurus loving food. I'm like, y'all, it's really a struggle. Like it's really not. I love food so much. And it's so crazy because it's not even that I like binge eat or anything like that. Just like it's literally just my genes, dog. Like I don't. The only thing that does help is working out, like consistently in the gym, muscle building. Like that's the only thing that has ever worked. Dieting has quite literally never worked. I've gone, like years eating at a calorie deficit and still not losing weight. Like it's there's something there. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yes. I want to show you a couple things. One of them is just the Venus Saturn conjunction in Taurus, right? Because Venus is how you look.
Uh
That's how I'm doing it, just to make it easy for myself. There, I feel the Venus Saturn Taurus.
huh.
And so I guess that's also like trying at some points to diet. Also, that you said you grew up for most of your life in poverty.
Yeah.
And also that people made fun of you for how you look.
Yeah.
All right, because Venus is in the 11th, together with Saturn in the 10th. So this makes me think about your public reputation being big.
Oh yeah. All them bitches knew me for real. They know what it is.
Would you say that that's really been actually a struggle for you? Or
Um. I will say that I've struggled with perception for a long time. Like I hate being perceived. Um. And like right now, like what my actual breakthrough was as of recent was the fact that I was wasting so much of my energy perceiving myself on the behalf of other people as some sort of like defense mechanism. And
Mhm.
I broke that literally recently. I think it was like um the night before the full moon in Scorpio. Like it was um a very strange like spiritual experience. I'm not even kidding. Um where I in my mind I held space in between, like I was perceiving the part of myself that was always perceiving myself. So I was looking outward at my own measuring device, right? And what happened was it like completely like broke even. It felt like maybe Newton's law was sort of working where the forces of those two things sort of equaled each other out to where all that was left was the lack of perception. And I was in that space for like at least 30 seconds and it was literally insane. It felt like something in my brain broke and in a way that I wanted, or in a way that I needed.
Interesting.
What?
Okay. There's a few things because I really feel the 12th house, especially when you say that you're kind of in that empty space. I
Hmm.
just felt the 12th house. But I especially feel Saturn that is conjunct your sun right now. Right? For the first time in your life, that conjunction is coming. And of course, the sun is about visibility and perception, because that's the part of you that people see and talk about, the outside. Right. And so Saturn is right on top. And so you're having this like massive awakening, actually. And this is actually, you're just in the process because Saturn is going to retrograde back to your sun, is going to be conjunct there the whole year. So for me, it's kind of like you're in the process of that right now. Right.
Oh,
Just like,
that's so fun.
like, for example, at work right now, you don't have a job.
Yeah. Yeah.
You said you were working on creative projects.
Yeah. So what I was trying to say earlier was I realized, because this last year or so, it's just sort of like I want to do something, but I can't decide on what it is.
Hmm.
And then I sort of just realized, why don't I just work on what fuels me? Like my whole sort of power is observation, intention, creativity, solution. And so why not just do what is I'm called to, right? But what I was saying is like, 2 years down the line, I am dreaming of what I want the sort of most aligned life to look like for me, because I want to get there. And that looks like working on creative projects, like selling an idea for a podcast because I came up with it, or creating like a package offer for someone very specific, like a consulting thing, or um, being able to have that that power to network. The issue is I hate networking.
So you want to start a consulting business, kind of.
Yeah, I mean a little more ambiguous from that, like a step up from it, but
Right.
um, yeah. Bottom line,
I get it. Like you want to really finally express your talents and be seen for who you are.
yeah. Like if I've been told, I said this earlier, but I've been told my whole life I'm like too sensitive. Like it feels
Hmm.
like this sort of analysis that I've come up with as of recent is like all of these adults whose lives I would not want replicated in my own are giving me,
Right.
the lay of the land or telling me this is what life is. And I've been trying to abide by that to make them proud, but I'm not even proud of them. So
Hmm.
why the fuck would I, I actually shouldn't give a fuck what they think. Like that actually has zero value.
Right.
Um in terms of what I want my life to be. And so realizing that I was holding myself back due to the fear of being seen as um, how they see me, like how my family projects onto me, is was a huge fear for me. And now I'm realizing it actually doesn't fucking matter. Um, Number one, fuck them. Number two, like I just feel like my goal isn't to hear my parents say I'm proud of you, but I would much rather hear how the fuck did you do that? You
Okay.
know?
hmm Yeah. Do you see that with Saturn being conjunct your sun, the process you're describing right now, the process of discovering who you really are outside of what everyone else told you, and just like, yeah, say fuck
Yeah, but also like, can that bitch hurry up? You know what I mean?
Right. Okay. Yeah. So this makes me feel like at the moment you actually, as much as you express that to me now, in real life you don't get too much of a chance to really show that.
Right.
Okay. But you want to, and so I feel you're getting more intentional about that with Saturn on your sun.
Yeah, I'm getting intentional because I'm like, the sort of thoughts that I've been having lately is like, okay, so what if I believe in witchcraft? Like, okay. And you know
Ah,
what? We we all are just energy and we're all just matter. And if I have to believe in magic in order to continue to survive the life that like has scarred me immeasurably, then fuck it, man. I'll believe in magic. I'll do it. I'll be crazy. Who cares? You know what? If I have to be this, weird character in my family's lives, so they don't quite understand me, and I'm really okay. Maybe that's who I was meant to be. All these people telling me that I'm way too sensitive. That's my fucking superpower, bitch. That's the whole reason that any of you have, first of all, have a relationship with another, because I'm the goddamn mediator. Every situation, every scenario, every fight, I'm the freaking mediator. None of anyone in my family would be talking to each other if it weren't for me.
how's that?
It's exhausting, and I hate them bitches because you know what? They take me for they take me for granted.
Uh-huh.
It's because like I get a lot of lack of respect for not having this sort of like material gain, like for
Aha.
not having this sort of success. My words, my ideas, my values, my like everything is has always just been invalidated. Like a huge wound that I have in my life is invalidation, and like I've let that control me so much to the point of like, dude, I either need to shed this or go next, like quit the game, because like this is not sustainable, this is not healthy. This is just holding me back from like who I have always been. right? I'm like constantly trying to change to be better for what exactly? Like, what do I get in return to change from the criticisms of people who looked at a child and said, there's something wrong with you, you know? And not, maybe there's something wrong with me. Maybe there's something wrong with this environment.
Hmm. Yeah. I'm really feeling your sun Jupiter. I feel like you were too big for people, actually not physically at this point, but energetically. What you
Yeah.
represent, the way that you shine, maybe was like they saw that you could go places that they can't. Maybe that was too overwhelming.
Oh, I thought you had more to say after that. You were just sort of sorry.
No, because I'm thinking about the sun Jupiter. Like that's such a big energy. And the part where you say, like, why are you always trying to improve? Right. So there I see the sun Jupiter Aries again.
Yeah.
Better and better and better and better and better in advance.
Right.
Progress. Make change.
Right.
Grow. Be huge, be big, be free, be independent, be
Right.
here, be freaky.
And I want
Be-
it all now.
Right. And now you probably are kind of feeling the most anger, I guess, because Saturn is right on top of that.
Yeah, and grief, I would
Yeah.
say, because
Yeah.
like it was, it was so simple the whole time. You know,
Yeah.
when you like you just spend so long on a problem, and then it's like that trope of that one motherfucker that steps in for like 2 seconds, like, oh, here's your problem, and fixes it. That's what this past like month has felt like.
Mhm.
Where I'm like, oh, okay, got it. So I actually don't have to care about what those motherfuckers think of me.
Okay.
Right. Interesting. Okay.
Okay. Do you hear that? Saturn, Sun, Jupiter. You're becoming super strong in yourself, like the moment of reckoning.
Mm, yeah. I'm gonna need those financials to catch up with me, man.
Okay,
That's all
that
I
tells
gotta
me that
say.
the rest of this year you're like really structuring yourself. I don't think there is going to be too much recognition coming, right? Because the energy of Saturn is specifically to deny something to the sun,
Right.
which wants to be seen. So that makes me think about your family now, also kind of like looking down on you.
Yeah. Yeah, they do.
And especially because now, yeah, because now you're in that situation with work, right? Because it's in the 10th house.
Right.
So you don't have a job, and so you look like this and that, and you're trying to bust your ass, and yeah, you don't look, you're capable of so much more.
Right. Right. Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, and I see that you're capable of so much, but you're like taking orders and making the deliveries.
But like on oh, yeah. You're right. Sorry. Yeah. I
Yeah.
was gonna say I thought you were saying like in a medical metaphorical sense. I was like, this doesn't make any fucking sense. It's not fair. It's not fair.
Mhm.
I have a lot of like, I have to really fight my self pity a lot of the times. I I I feel so bad for myself a lot of the times. Like it's where it's like I struggle between finding the point where I'm like, you motherfuckers did this to me, and then also like I have spent so much time just making it worse, but I didn't know any better. I didn't know any better.
Hmm.
And so it's like, fuck, like I I understand that language is super important for the brain, and like this sort of language that you use is sort of creating your perception of reality. But how on earth do you go through so much and then just be like, oh, it's all my like it was all me. Like I could have I could have changed this or done that. And it's like no, like all of that it still happened. I
Right.
can't just simply ignore the fact that it happened. It shaped me and who I was and taught me so much, but also like was unfair. People go through things that are unfair, you know?
Totally. Yeah. Yeah, I feel that being heightened for you, especially during this period, just while Saturn is transiting your sun, like becoming more self-confident and having a much more stable identity where you shape and know yourself and you have an opinion about yourself finally, like one that you can develop without the influence of other
Yeah.
people. And so I feel you also at the same time, of course, processing everything that people told you about yourself that wasn't true. And also coming to terms with how cool and how great and how many opportunities there are for you that other people didn't show are available. So there I
Right.
feel, yeah, and all the sadness kind of. But at the same time, the taking responsibility, I feel that happening for you as well.
Well, I try, you know.
Yeah, being very like, okay, so people are like that and they can't go as far as I can. And so I'm going to take myself much more seriously and show the world. I feel that happening for you now.
Mm.
Yeah, just becoming more intentional more than ever. Yeah.
Right. Constant journey, this life, this little life of mine. Um, I will say thematically, not a big fan. Thematically, it's been hard.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you do that? You know what I mean? Um, can't really ask Saturn to just sort of like scoot over a little bit. It doesn't really work like that. Not sure why. It's kind of rude. But, I'm really thinking about doing stand up comedy. Uh,
Oh, actually?
yeah, actually, hugely considering it.
Oh,
Just as
yeah.
a fun little thing. I'll be like, you know what? I'm gonna write it. I'm gonna write a stand up. Fuck it.
Okay, so do
Why
you
not?
see that also with Sun, Jupiter, and Aries in the 10th?
I'm a funny bitch.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's like
The
that's
Aries
like my
energy,
whole
the
thing.
excitement, the fun.
Oh yeah.
Come on, people. Let's do it. Let's get up. Let's
I,
grow.
I
Make
really
it
do
happen. Come
command.
on now. Yeah,
I
come on, come on,
get
come on, come on, come on. I see you being actually very musical as well.
yes. I
Like a
yes.
marching band. Like, woo,
I
woo,
was
woo.
in marching band.
See?
I play like four different instruments. I played
Yes. You're loud.
trumpet, piano,
You're
ukulele,
you're in
guitar.
people's faces. Yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
feel. You're in
yeah,
everyone's face. You're very
really.
irritable. You're irritating.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I for sure.
You
I'm
take
gonna
up a lot of
quiet.
space. I feel that. You're not
Yeah,
a quiet person.
and you know what? I'm gonna take up more, and they could
Yes.
suck it. They could suck an
That's
egg.
right. And I also feel you also being kind of masculine.
I do. I
Yeah.
consider myself really masculine. I actually struggle with that a lot. Like I'm insecure about how masculine I am.
Yeah,
Um, but
totally.
you know what? I think that the Taurus
You're the
Venus
man.
really does something for me there, where it adds this softness to it. Um, I
I feel
do
like
really,
that is like you're so masculine, and then there's the Cancer rising. You're so sensitive.
yes, yes. I'm like I'm like a crybaby, but also a bully, you know.
Yes, a
And it,
bully. Yes.
yeah, but it sort of turned into a thing where when I was a kid, I was someone who like could dish it but not take it.
Hmm.
And now I can take it. I choose not to dish it, but if you try me, I will absolutely dish it. Um and it'll be the read of a lifetime, truly. But I don't tend to do that because I like to be nice.
And you're the driver.
I am the driver.
Best
This is true.
driver.
I
Okay.
have to I have to make sure these bitches stay alive,
Is there a
right?
truck? Is there a big truck somewhere?
Um there's big trucks many places, I would say. One would say.
Yes, ma'am.
No, 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 no big trucks.
No big truck.
I did borrow a truck for a little bit. It was nice. Those were the dads. We're in the country, so my dad, has a big truck.
Yes, exactly. Because I'm
Yeah.
seeing the Sun, Jupiter, Aries. I'm feeling big truck. I'm feeling big rigs.
I think that's definitely metaphorical. I would, you know what? I fuck with SUVs and trucks personally.
Yes,
They gotta feel
SUV car.
secure. They gotta feel meaty, you know?
Oh yeah, are you big into meat as well? Are you a grill master? Do you love a good sausage?
I love this. Love the way you frame that. Really good question. Super important to me. Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
of course. Sun, Jupiter, Aries, right? The grilled meats.
Are you serious? Is that that
Of
makes sense?
course.
Dude, it feels like a meal isn't complete if it doesn't have like a protein, like a meat. If it doesn't have a meat, it doesn't feel like a meal, you know?
Okay. I'm also seeing like fried stuff, like chips. Oh yeah, I'm
Oh,
seeing
don't call me
the
out
crunch.
like this.
Yeah, I'm seeing the crunch.
Gotta love a crunch.
I'm
Gotta
seeing like one of those super crunch wrap supreme from Taco Bell.
You're done. Yeah, I like the cheesy gordita. It
Yeah.
has the yeah. Uh,
Yes.
huge
Deep
into
fried tortilla.
carbs. Shout
Yeah.
out carbs. We love carbs.
Yes. But I also feel a lot of movement, like exercise. I feel like maybe the Stairmaster or something, or maybe the track.
That's so funny. Um, despite being Christmas as a child, I was um in volleyball and I had to do off season track and I hated running so fucking much that first of
Mhm.
all, two funny things. I hated it so much that I quit volleyball because like it was a school elective, so you had to be in off season. And I hated it so goddamn much. And also I did long distance running and I would run so slow that the coaches literally would not keep up with how many laps I've taken. So I'd be like you'd have to take like 4 laps by the end of class. I'd take like 2 and they just wouldn't know. I was such a slow runner.
Interesting.
But I was in sports like my whole childhood. It's so crazy. Um
Okay, so there's the Sun Jupiter in the
yeah,
10th Aries.
it's
All
insane. I was super athletic as a kid
okay.
and I was still big, you know?
Okay,
Um,
interesting.
I I did like every sport. I was in ballet. I had piano lessons. I did freaking soccer, basketball, baseball, softball. Did
Okay.
everything except for, karate. Did not do karate. Would have been so sick though, honestly. Would have fucked up some karate. I'm just saying. But yeah, no, I was super athletic as a kid. I was really good too. Like I got most improved player at my athletic banquet for
Sun
volleyball.
Jupiter in 10th
Yeah.
Aries. Do you see?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do sort of I command energy in a room and it's
Yes,
just sort of like I didn't choose that. I simply am, you know?
Sun Jupiter, Aries,
Yes.
10th. Yes. And look how they're connected to your retrograde Mars, your slow Mars,
God
right? So
damn it,
that makes
Mars.
me think about you being like this super active kid, but you're slow.
Isn't that funny? That's so
Yeah, it is
contradictory.
funny. I mean, it's you, right? It's your specific way of being.
I love how that translates.
Yeah. Okay. Let's pause there then. Oh, but and also because Mars is like ruling your Sun and Jupiter, right? And he's retrograde, moving slowly in a fixed sign. And
Mm.
opposing Saturn in a fixed sign. This is so like, yeah. Do you see how it just when it comes to life, it's like, whoa. Okay.
Hit me in the face
Right.
repeatedly over and over again. We love that.
What did you think about that?
That's super fun. Really good clarification. I am the person that commented on threads that said I was writing like a little short play about my signs and
Okay.
like how they're represented. Which actually quite helped me a lot with personifying those aspects, those energies again. Um, because I am working on a project where like I'm trying to identify the energy of something, right? And so I actually have Aries represented, um, Aries, Virgo, Cancer, and Scorpio represented as like the houses and the planets that they represent in. So like Aries is the 10th house representative. Um, and Aries, it's like a workplace environment, and Aries' job is to just be, is to exist, is to go where the wind takes you, live your life, do what you do, right? And then Virgo is like, wait, guys, I have Cancer freaking the fuck out all the goddamn time. I have Aries going and doing all this other fuck shit, and then Scorpio is doing all this nefarious secret shit that's like, oh, I'm gonna fuck suck my way through this fucking, because my Scorpio is in my fifth house, which is like the house of play, and then it's sort of like, uh, I don't know if it's opposition or it's just sort of pointing towards my Venus and then also my Sun Jupiter, and so it sort of creates this dynamic where like Aries wants to go go go, like inspire, have fun, and then Scorpio's also sort of amplifying that energy of like, let's be bad. And then my Virgo's like, let's not do that. Let's not do that. I'm stressed out. I feel a lot about this. And so it's a sort of office dynamic of these, this like tired manager personality that doesn't have the manager position and is like, in the short play, I'm relating it to this recent discovery of like, actually, if I just balanced out how much I'm thinking versus feeling, then all of these energies can like coexist better.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, so it's like presented in like, we have a management change, Virgo. Your job is specifically to organize the framework structures, whatever, around what Aries and Scorpio are doing. So you keep tabs on, what they're up to, what they're drawn to, what they're doing, what they're whatever. You organize that and format that, and then report it to Aquarius 8th house.
Mm-hmm.
And I was and it just helped me understand it so much better because I was like, oh yes, like this is the um dynamic that's being like conceptualized.
Very good. Very nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I see your Mars in Scorpio, by the way, just in your icon already, the blush shoe with the purple hair with the dark.
Oh
Yeah,
yes.
I'm just feeling the Scorpio from that.
I'm very gothic.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is so funny because I have a really mixed sort of spectrum of aesthetics that I like. And so I have cottagecore that's like my soul. I love cottagecore. I love ivy. I love like pinks and pastels, but I freaking love like goth aesthetic. I love the
Uh-huh.
skulls and bugs on plaques and
Uh-huh. There's the
dark
fifth house
music.
cards. Uh-huh. You see there, I see the Taurus and Scorpio opposition.
Ooh, that's actually interesting. Yeah.
Right? The pinks and the pastels and the colors and the ivy
Yeah.
and the swirls and then the dark.
I have my Lilith in the fifth as well.
Hmm.
Uh
Okay, let me just stop recording for now, okay? Because I like to keep these relatively the same length. So let me just stop recording.
okay.
And you and I can talk for a few more minutes, okay? So to anyone that's been watching, nice to have you here as usual, and we'll see you next time. Okay, signing out.